Heading off pretty soon on Kenyan Airways to Nairobi, then on to Kigali.
Yes.
And Matthew?
Yes.
You're most welcome. Your name is Hamza.
Hamza.
Yeah, I'm going to be
Hamza. So, touchdown in Kigali, it's raining. We found our guide and we're just heading towards the vehicle and we're going to be heading off to Nyungwe forest, ready for the chimpanzee trek. So it's absolutely pouring with rain right now. We're really close to Nyungwe National Park. We're heading towards our lodge. Yeah, we've been driving for about 4 hours to try and get here, but we are literally on the edge of Nyungwe National Park. There we are, look at that. Lovely, thank you very much. Got me big low pro bag on, got me.
Turn around, let's see the
Osmo
size
Hero.
of this thing.
Look at the size of this bag.
Bigger than you.
Morning all, here we are in Rwanda heading off to the Chimpanzee trekking at Nyungwe National Park. It is literally 4:30 in the morning. We're trekking off. It's going to be an epic day, hopefully. Got a coffee, ready to go. Finally made it to our starting point for the trekking, so we're heading off now to see the chimpanzees in Nyungwe National Park. It took a bit of a trek to get here, but finally found our guide and our porter who's helping to carry all our stuff, and we're finally going into the forest and see how we get on.
So thank you. Jean-Pierre is my name. Yeah, I'm going to be your guide in the chimpanzee trekking. Nyungwe is one of 4 parks we have here in Rwanda, which is located in the southwest of the country. Inside of Rwanda, it covers 1,018 kilometers square. We have 13 primate species. We have 340 bird species. So about the mammals have about 85 mammals. So in Nyungwe, we even do the different activities where we do the nature walk, we do the canopy, we do the night walk, and even the trekking. And also now we are going to do the chimpanzee trekking. Generally in Nyungwe we have about 500 chimps. Okay. But they live in the different communities. Yeah. And now we are going to do the Mayawe community. Okay. It is the biggest one where it is composed about over 60 chimpanzees. They live on 60 kilometers square. Oh wow! Okay. So which means sometimes we can see it very easy, difficult, and more difficult. Sometimes we even lose it. Our forest is big. Yeah. Which means the community we have here. 60 kilometers square, as I said. Yeah. Another chimpanzees, they also have another territories. So not many chimpanzees like to attack another one. You know?
So they protect the territory.
Just walked into a massive cobweb. Not a good start. More of those to come, I think. Make sure we've got enough gear with us. Yeah, I can't believe the amount of stuff that we're taking. There's no way we could have carried it ourselves. Purely the fact that we have no idea how far we're going to be walking. Could be 3, could be 4 hours, we don't really know. So you kind of need help to help get your stuff in and out again. Bring clothes and shoes that you don't mind getting ruined. Going deep into the forest now. Thought it was pretty easy, but now it's going to get a bit tougher. It was raining pretty heavy yesterday, so it's pretty wet underfoot, which means it can be quite slippy. Have to be very careful how we tread. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, really incredible. So we've got Lake Kivu in the distance there. We've got the mist in the forest, where the title of the film, Gorillas in the Mist, comes from. Oh, cool. That's the making a noise. That's pretty smart, isn't it? Yeah, checking out the birds in Africa. Turned on my anti-cobweb device, my arm. Pretty wet underfoot, which is to be expected because it is the wet season. It's still walkable. I mean, it is quite damp and it's quite slippy. It was raining pretty heavily yesterday night, so which is the reason why it's pretty heavy going now, but it doesn't mean it's not walkable. I mean, you can do it in the wet season, just make sure that you've got the right footwear and the right clothing and everything. I don't think the permit prices and charges are different in the different seasons, so I think you're just going to pay the same, so that's probably worth bearing in mind. It's not going to be any difference price-wise. Rwanda is a lot more expensive than Uganda and Congo. The time of year you do stuff in Africa has a big impact on your overall experience. So it's worth checking the seasons and making sure that the place that you're going is right for the right season. Now about 7:15. So the sun is now up. We've got nice daylight, but it's also worth bearing in mind that we're under the tree canopy, so it's always going to be fairly dark. It's going to block out a lot of the sun, even though it's now broad daylight. It's worth bearing in mind when you pack your choice of cameras and lenses, you're going to be in fairly dark conditions. Getting through, there's a few patches here you can see, but we have no idea where the chimpanzees are going to be. So they could be under thick canopy or they could be out in a clearing. Okay, so it's possible that we found where the chimpanzees are.
They found them. They found them.
We are going to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Walking up the steep bit here. Hopefully they're up here. It's possible that we found them. Yeah, sounds pretty serious on the guide's walkie-talkie. Of course, these are habituated chimpanzees, so they're used to humans being near them. They're not used to human contact, but used to humans being close to them. Wow, it's pretty tough going, getting through this section of the forest. So it's possible that we're actually quite close now.
Up there is a monkey. You see the monkey? There's a small monkey.
Monkey already.
These monkeys, not chimpanzees.
So we found some monkeys. Which monkeys are these?
Silver monkeys.
Fortunately, I don't have the lens or the camera ready, but I think we'll get another opportunity. We've just met up with another guide. Basically operates deep in the forest. So he's tracking the chimpanzees. So he's in communication with our guide. It's been about an hour and 15, maybe an hour and a half, walking through this dense forest. The longer we're trekking, the more kind of fuel we're burning. Ideally, you don't really want to be trekking more than about an hour and a half, 2 hours. If you're fit and in good condition, then it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay, so we know where they are, but we're going to trek a bit further because the family is moving in kind of this direction. So we're going to move kind of ahead of them. I guess they're kind of feeding, foraging, or whatever it is they're doing. But they're kind of on the move, so we're going to try and walk ahead of them and then try and capture them then. What an adventure. So we trekked out another 15-20 minutes, try and get ahead of the chimpanzees. Just met up with the tracker, who's just met up with our guide, and I think he's going to lead us in. We've got a full hour with them, you see, We'll try and get as far in front of them as possible. Hopefully we're almost there because it's been a pretty exhausting trek so far.
Oh wow, that's chimpanzee.
You can see him there, he's just a big ball of fur stuck in a tree. There's one chimpanzee up in the tree at the moment, so we're getting some really nice shots here. Every now and again he turns over, he turns around and looks at us. Pretty cool. So we found the chimpanzees. We found one who was kind of very high up in the tree. Difficult to get a clear shot. So moving to another one, see if we can get a better shot, clearer view. So we found two chimpanzees, but they're quite high up in the trees. So we're just going to wait patiently for them to try and come down.
Before we go,
Yeah.
can I tell you something about the chimpanzees?
Yes, okay, sure,
When
thank
you are
you.
still in the jungles.
Yes.
Thank you. Head off. You do this every day? Blimey. You guys do this every single day. You know, there's some very strong people.
I can ask you one question. So how many chimpanzees do you think we saw?
I think we saw four.
Yeah, 4.
Four different ones, yeah.
Yeah. The chimpanzees we did now, it is a Maebe community. As I said before, it's composed of over 60 chimpanzees. The reason why the chimpanzees, they like to do the small group according to the quantity of food which is available. So that is why they always here like 4. And then the tracker, they choose for last the chimpanzee which is near. From 0 to 20 years, they look black on the back, but when it is to over 21, they start getting, they start changing to the grayish.
Yeah,
There was
I
an
noticed
impact,
that.
black
Yeah, I
one.
saw that.
Yeah, I think so. That.
Yes.
And also there's another things maybe you didn't recognize. The chimpanzee, the difference in color to the face.
Yeah.
There's the chimpanzee look pinkish on the face, and also another chimpanzee look black. But all of them, they're born with a pink face.
Okay.
Yeah, but like after 3 months, the chimpanzees started changing. They're omnivore, but most of the time they spend their time for eating leaves and fruit.
Yeah.
And also sometimes they can even eat mushrooms, honey. So, and also sometimes it is not usual. They can even go to hunting monkeys. So alpha male is the dominant males who read in the group. Also chimpanzees sleep in the nest. The nest in the top of the trees. I think we saw some was nesting. So chimpanzees, they do nest every day, every time they want to sleep, which
Okay.
means it's never use the nest twice. When they want, they can renew, but most of the time they do the new nest.
Get you from a different angle. Now I'm still in it.
Absolutely lovely shattered.
What a day.
Are you feeling back there? Feeling good?
Yeah, I've calmed down a bit since I've had a whole ant family attack me.
Dusty.
Yeah, they're stuck in my socks and on my neck.
I think I've got one on my shoulder. Been a great experience making our way back to the vehicle. Very difficult to photograph chimpanzees and gorillas in this type of environment, but hopefully we've got some really good shots. We'll see what comes off the memory cards when we get back to the lodge. And overall it's been an amazing experience. Absolutely exhausting. We're now being bitten by ants, so we need to get back to the car as quickly as possible.
I think this one is like easy, moderate, hard, what we did today.
It's a moderate.
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 Yes, it's
yeah.
a moderate,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because when it is difficult, you can
Up and down, up and down. Yes.
cutting the trees. and-
Yes, we didn't have too much cutting.
A lot easier coming out than it is getting in. A lot of that is to do with the position of the chimpanzee. So if they're deep into the forest, then we have to go a different way in, which is much more challenging. My guide said this is like the moderate trek. So there's a much harder trek than this. It goes, it's more kind of up and downhill.
Hooray for civilization! A few last steps to go.
And we made it. Is it slippy?
No, not too much.
No?
Not
Are we
too
can
much.
hold on to stuff, yeah?
So because we go down, so then come back. So you see here, the winter they look like bad. So when it rains, they coming. It's a slippery. So the reason why we take a stick. So I think today morning we will do the chimpanzee.
Yes.
How is it?
Good.
How many? Is
Tiring.
Oh, how many?
There's
Is
4
it?
or 5.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Difficult to see them in the canopy, but yeah, 4 or 5, yeah.
Okay, so by now we are going to do the canopy. So the canopy is not long. It's a short
Yeah.
hike. Igishigishigi trail. So distance it's 2.1 kilometer round the trip, go and back is not wrong. Average time it's 1.5, but it depends.
Yeah.
So it's not long, it's easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Easy.
Can you read here?
Iggy shiggy shiggy.
Igishigishigi. So igishigishigi is the kind of plant.
Okay.
When we reach down, I can show igishigishigi.
Excellent.
This one, the red one, this one, it's a 6 hours hiking. This one, so it's called Imbalaga. So Imbalaga, it's the name of Kinyarwanda, but in English it's called the strafe. So this one it's called Uwinka. This one, so it's 9 hours hiking. This one it's Umuyove tree, African mahogany tree. So it's 3 hours. This one it's 3 hours. So today we do this one, the short one.
Iggy shiggy shiggy.
Igishigishigi. Yeah, it's the 1.5. When working on canopy,
Yeah.
is holding arms for the bean table and working on middle, because when working on side, it's more shaking. So I show you, for example, if you're working like this,
Yeah.
you see on middle. But
Yeah.
when you're working like
Oh yeah.
it's more shaking. But when you're working like this,
Yeah.
it's no shaking.
Okay.
Running, jumping, it's not loud. So we take many picture. It's loud, but be careful for your phone and camera. So when your phone falls down, you can say goodbye, my phone. Okay.
People have gone before us, right? Wow. Experience and a half. Go.
There we go.
Get into the jungle today. Chimpanzee feast.
Wouldn't be an African trip without a tusker. Yourself too comfortable, we're leaving soon. So. Morning.
How many gorillas are we going to see?
Hopefully, your whole family. And it's a good morning from Volcanoes National Park. We're just at the visitor centre here. We're registering and we're just going to get the briefing ready for our gorilla trekking. There's so many people here. There's literally so many cars coming in, dropping people off. But we need to get registered first and then have a briefing. Then we'll make our way to the start point. But you can see the volcanoes in the background. Really amazing place to come and visit. The scenery here is incredible. But we're just waiting for our driver to get us registered and then we'll be on our way. Okay, we've done the briefing and we're ready to trek on to the start point. Fingers crossed it's an easy trek. We've been told it was, so that's what we were looking for, especially after yesterday. But anyway, we'll see how it goes.
These are eucalyptus. Planted a lot, so close to the gorillas. I told you they eat the bamboo. Well, they have in the forest about 200 different species of plants. They just decide what they're going to eat as a family. Maybe we get there when they're eating, then we are going to see. Sometimes you get to see gorillas outside. They're coming for eucalyptus. So they like the sap. They remove the bark and then scratch to get the sap from it. So it's more like a dessert. It's a small amount they're collecting. Silverback eats about 30 kilos. So won't disappear. This is one of the mountain we have here. We have a chain of 5 volcanoes. And this one is called Bisoke. It has a very beautiful crater lake at the summit. Yeah, then we get tourists to hike this one a lot. Just to get to the crater. And then next on the left of it is where we have the highest volcano, which is called Karisimbi. We have a gorilla called Karisimbi in his family. So we get to name the gorillas every September. They give names to the newborn. These names are the one our trackers and our monitoring teams are using for the individual monitoring. If one is sick, then they know who is sick. They have different marks on the top of the nose. When we get there, you make sure the silverback, you check the nose prints so that I don't take you around and tell you this is the second one and yet it's the previous one.
Slippy slidey.
There will be a place that we arrange where we're going to be dropping our sticks. That's the spot where we need to have a sip of water or we can quickly have a bite, because we'll be spending 1 hour around the gorillas. We may see someone taking picture. They know what's going on. They know they're not like our vets. No one brings a camera. That our gorillas' reaction is always like, You try to bring people closer to see, then they're like, they like go away. We don't want you here. Then tourists with the cameras, they continue eating. They look up and they just continue their activities because they know there are friendly people around them. We are asked you to stay 10 meters away, and they don't know about it. It can happen, so we depend on their movement. It happens when they come to us, then we will have no room. Instead of running away, I'll ask you to just stay still, especially like silverbacks or boys. Then I would quickly ask you, please stay low, then they will pass by. So it happens that they're this close. And baby gorillas, they do the same. They can try to do that. They come like this. Then they run. They can try to kick or slap because they're just playing.
Yeah.
I mean, here, like I already mentioned, when they're not happy, they're warning you to stay away. If they're coming your way, they can do that. Then you would know if it's been coming to you, and then that means you need to get out of the way. Or they can just wait because they don't expect you to know their language. You can make eye contact with these animals. It will be no problem making eye contact with them until they are aggressive. When I see some signs of aggression, I quickly ask you, now we are going to avoid eye contact, but also we'll be in this position. You will hear a sound that is more like when you hear the gorillas sounding like that, that means everything is fine. They're very happy. So we are going to go and try to see these animals before the rain.
Awesome.
Yes.
Quick little pit stop before we trek on.
Yeah, I almost made it into the men's room.
One false move, you could be over in a big thicket of stinging nettles. So I think we're actually quite close to the gorillas now, which is amazing. So we're trekking in this quite dense kind of bush. It's full of stinging nettles, so I need to be very careful. Pretty heavy going, but nothing too serious. Amazing. Miracle. What's it called?
Rebellia.
Rebellia.
Medicine is native.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Trekking through. Okay. Through. Where are they?
I think here he's been interested in eating the roots because thistle is one of the plants that are eaten by the gorillas, like the whole thing. They don't, as you can see, they ate only the roots and then left the rest. When they are interested in like the stem, it's really has these sharp thorns. They eat the leaves. Then these are not healthy to be eaten by the gorillas. They have choice. They can go and find a better one. But when they are leaves, they will go like this.
Oh wow, look at that.
Already upside down. And then they can eat the leaves more like this.
Yeah.
And then they go for this one when they are thirsty, because this one contains a lot of water.
Wow.
Even with you see, they can get about 17 liters of water from the 30 kilos of the plants. Yeah, it's wow. So starting to see the tracks, then we are getting really close.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Is one of them doing taking it right? Yeah? No.
So the chest beating you've heard is one of the silverbacks here. And because of that, at the place I know that was a passenger. If they are communicating with him, that they're powerful and ready to fight. Wow. So we are now very close. So our team of herders, that means from here, then towards the gorillas. So we are going to drop the sticks here, get what you need in your bag.
So, just finished the gorilla trek. So good, it was like going to the movies. So we did the chimpanzee yesterday, and that was pretty tough. But, well, for us anyway. We're Westerners. We're not as fit as you guys. We're not as fit and as strong as Africans. But it was pretty tough. And today it was nice to have. It was pretty easy going. And then tomorrow, hopefully, even easier. Okay, so Golden Monkey's even easier. Wow, what an experience, just leaving the gorilla trekking, leaving the gorillas behind. About 20-minute walk through pretty rough bushland, lots of stinging nettles, but we finally found them. Yeah, pretty tough in places, but not like ridiculously tough. That was pretty good. That was really quite amazing. I mean, it's very expensive to do this, but you know, I think you get what you pay for, because it's a really unforgettable experience. Something you're never going to forget the rest of your life. So yeah, it is a lot of money, but yeah, once you look back through all your photos, videos and everything, you're probably going to think, yeah, it's probably worth every penny.
just want to thank you for your coming here. We're very grateful for your support. The people here are happy because of the tourists come here, they give them job. And then as well, the gorilla number is increasing. It's just because of the tourists paying a lot of money, and then everyone knows it's an important thing to protect. So we thank you very much for that. We didn't see all gorillas, all 22, and our gorilla families are on Insta. I had some asking about the way. This is a Mahoro. Yeah, you can scan that QR code and then it will take you to Insta. And so you can see some better pictures from there, more with our doctors and our researchers. For example, there's that silverback with a wound on the eye.
Right.
Yeah, we've got some gorillas that died of those wounds, the infections.
Find a view of the volcano.
Yeah, so please.
Best way to see the best view of the volcano.
Okay. So is it possible to go outside to see volcanoes?
Have you got a feeling?
Yeah, good feeling of it.
Got a good feeling? What's happening?
Tonight's
What's
gonna
happening
be
here?
a good time lapse. Another amazing morning here in Volcanoes Park in Rwanda. We're heading off for our golden monkey trek this morning. This is the last of our 3 treks that we're doing. Final day, golden monkey trekking in Volcanoes National Park.
Woo.
Hopefully this is the easiest of the 3 because we've done 2 pretty tiring treks already, so yeah, hopefully this one's an absolute breeze.
We've got a few groups of them habituated here on the Rwandan side. Some researchers have found that we might be having about 3,000 monkeys across these mountains. Been visiting them since 2006. That means they are quite familiar with what is happening when there are people around them taking their pictures. Usually they are in the large groups, so about from 30 to 200. We're having our particular group today that has about 100 individuals. They're living in a bamboo forest. Don't expect you to go to the top of the mountain today. They live quite low, and the bamboo is the first vegetation zone. If you go beyond the bamboo, you won't find any monkey. And we have to drive from this place. 15 minutes drive, then we get to the next starting point, a place where we usually have porters, for those who choose to have porters to carry your backpacks. There are trackers who have gone already out. They will search in all the corners and then locate the place, then tell me where these monkeys are, then I'll lead you straight to where they're going to be located today.
here at the starting point ready for the golden monkey trekking, so we're just waiting to get going. We're here with the guide and also the porters. So yeah, we're just hanging around in this little village near Volcanoes Park and we're almost ready to go. Never seen an insane level of Western privilege, as you'll see here. The porters, there's nothing they wouldn't do.
Including 4 of them carrying someone in their private bed.
Unbelievable. Can be stick, can be GoPro, can be 360. Didn't bring my bed though.
Not bring your bed.
Should have brought me bed.
The top of this volcano touches on 3 countries, Uganda, Rwanda and the Congo.
What is the name?
Sabinho. So sometimes the gorillas, they can move up, but it's not easy to hike it.
Here we go, ready for the golden monkey trekking. Come on, let's go. Everywhere you look in this area is a photograph opportunity.
This one plant
Yeah,
can produce more than 2 kilos.
really?
This one.
Yeah.
That's why it's like
That's a lot of food, isn't it? Yeah.
Kinigi.
Kinigi.
No, this is not Kinigi. This is a different variety which is called Gikungu.
Oh, Gikungu.
It's something to do with reach.
Yeah.
It makes you reach very fast because it's very productive.
Yeah. So this is the Sabinho, is it? Sabinho volcano. So this is the volcano that borders onto Congo, Rwanda and Uganda. And you can hike it if you wanted to. You can even see clouds forming right in front of us. That's amazing, isn't it?
Before 2003, that's when they built this wall. Buffaloes were free going out. Then these people couldn't grow anything, so there was a conflict. So they had to kill them, to go hunt them, bring meat home to eat, until the government decided to stop that by building this wall. That's the reason why we have a wall here. It means the other side is for animals, and then this side is for the communities. Otherwise, we are soon getting to our monkeys. You saw?
Yeah, I saw the tree moving a lot, so.
Wind, maybe. Usually people are more interested in the gorillas. The golden monkeys, they see like 20, 30 minutes. I think we've seen. That's their many. We've seen enough. We can go back.
So just finished the golden monkey trekking. Always good fun watching the monkeys jumping around in their natural habitat. Great thing about this is that you can get really, really close to the monkeys and they don't seem to mind at all. Absolutely recommended when you're coming to Rwanda, or Uganda or Congo or any of those places where the golden monkeys live in and around the forest of the volcano, and just so much fun spending an hour with these monkeys in their natural habitat. And yeah, it's a really good way to round off the trip. How did you find the golden monkey trekking then?
It was amazing. They're very cute.
Yeah,
The babies,
good fun.
yeah.
Yeah, lots
They're
of fun.
just darting around all over the place.
Yeah,
So
just constantly jumping around, foraging for food.
very difficult to photograph.
Yeah, you
On
need
the
to,
go.
need to be very quick, or be patient. Just stay in one place and let them jump in front of you.
Very
Yes,
flat,
very
flat
easy trek actually, yeah. So good way to round off the trip with a nice easy trek up into the forest.
Remember the volcano's name?
Sabinho.
Savigno.
Sabinho volcano. Countryside, the surrounding countryside here is just amazing. I mean, it's mostly agriculture. As you can see, there's cows and sheep and goats. Lots of crop fields, potatoes and runner beans and all sorts of things that they're growing here. Just incredible. Coming with us. Found the pub.
Savigno.
Let's get in there. Sabinho pub. Come on, let's have a quick pint before we head back.
11:30. We leave at 12:30.
Okay.
After lunch, we are leaving the lodge because it's there.
We're back at the lodge. We need to get changed quickly. We need to have a lunch very quickly as well, and we need to pack, and we need to get on the road and head to the airport. What a trip. 3 days of trekking. We've seen chimpanzees, gorillas and golden monkeys. I mean, pretty good trek. It's expensive, but unforgettable. There we are, the end of the trip. Heading back home.
With lunch.
Yeah,
What did you order?
can't remember.
Soup and something else.
Beer.
Beer.
Yeah, great, thanks. Nothing like a bottle of Mutzig before I journey back to the airport. Cheers, Rwanda. Nice to meet you. Good boy, Sparky. Oh, get stretched. Good boy, Sparky.
Goodbye, little
Goodbye, Sparky.
boy.
Good boy.